You would think a lakeside Airbnb packed with kayaks and fire pits would market itself, right? But Pete, a full-time pilot and part-time host, struggled after his management company dropped the ball, until we dug deeper using my AI-driven method and pinpointed precisely where the listings fall flat. So in this video, I'm going to show you easy to implement, safe upgrades proven to boost visibility, bookings, and help Pete reclaim direct control of his property. And if you would like me to roast your marketing on a future video, there's a link in the description below. Let's roast. Okay, let's dive in, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. What I've done is, instead of just looking at this raw for the first time, I've decided to take a different angle where I've actually gone in, done a little bit of research, and then I'm going to present it and show it to you. Now, if I can do this, let's see, because I've got 3 that I've got lined up. So I might be able to get through all 3 on this video, or I might break it down into a couple. We don't know. But Pete is the person who has very kindly put his name forward. We had 8 people in total in the last week who put their names down. I picked Pete and 2 other people at random. And if you would like, obviously, to be up for a marketing roast, there's a link in the description below. Fill it in. And who knows, I may be doing you next for a good old roast. So we're going over to America for this one. Bowling Green, Kentucky, I believe this is. The company is called Barclay Breeze, and this is Pete. So I've gone to his Airbnb profile right now. He's an airplane pilot, so this obviously isn't his primary source of income. This is obviously like a hobbyist host, I would say, but this is interesting why we're doing Pete today. Most useless skill, race car driving. That's not useless at all. Where have I always wanted to go? Drive on the Autobahn in Germany. Born in the 60s, where I went to school, Virginia Tech, spends way too much time on YouTube videos, speaks English, lives in Bowling Green, married with 3 almost grown kids, fly airplanes for a living, traveling with my family. This bit at the bottom really interests me. Our house has been on Airbnb for years through a management company, but we decided to take that on himself so that it can start over to get back to 4.97 stars and guest favor that we had in 2024. So obviously going with a management company isn't always what it cracks out to be, especially if you pick the wrong one. So Pete's obviously here because he wants to learn more, and his struggles is his website and his Airbnb listing. So let's go ahead and look at the listing. As you can see here, it's a big property, 12 guests, 3 bedrooms, 7 beds, 3 bathrooms. I've had 2 reviews since taking it back on in their charge, and as we can see, these have happened quite recently. The listing and the home is over in Kentucky, so right here on the what looks like the southwest side of Kentucky, just touching the Tennessee borders. I know this area well. 2002, sorry. I landed in Memphis to spend 6 months doing soccer coaching. Had the best time. Went to Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Alabama, Louisiana, you name it. It was an amazing time. So I do know this area. I don't know the specific location, but it does look great. So this is the listing that we've got here. Let's have a quick look at the website. So website has been put together by 3D builders. Not entirely sure who or what they are, but it is, as you can see, the website, as you can see, it looks like a DIY effort, if I'm honest. Now, with saying that, Pete, if you've paid for it, then I'd be asking for my money back, because this is a pretty shit website. I'm not going to beat around the bush. So as I did, like I said, I wanted to do a bit of research. So I actually took all of the information, put this into our GPT, and this is the good news for everybody now watching this. I've actually turned this GPT into a bot that you can all use. So my AI digital twin is now available. If you just do this on the domain boostly.co.uk/BOT, it will take you to this page. You can text, you can voice, you can even video call me, which is really cool. And you can do the same thing that I am doing here with your business, and it will roast you just like I'm doing now. But obviously the context is I get to talk about why I'm doing all the roasting. So we pulled all this data together. So this is what the bot has been done. And this bot has been purely trained on me, on the books, every single podcast episode that we've done at Boostly. So this is really cool. So you can do this now as well. boostly.co.uk/bot. So the strengths: waterfront setting, built-in wow factor, group-friendly layout. You've got a website, which is a big win. Kayaks, dock space, perfect for families. This is the weaknesses that we've picked up. The listing lacks energy and hook, which I definitely agree here. The direct site messaging is safe and generic. Definitely agree there. There's no guest funnel or urgency tools in place. So we're going to go through all of that. So then we try to pinpoint where your avatar is. So again, this just says Barclay Breeze, Waterfront Private Docks Kayaks. This is the title here. This is what gets shown on the listing. Barclay Breeze means nothing to you or me or anybody, right? Obviously, it means a lot to you, but not to your guests. So what we need to do is we need to figure out the avatar. So group getaways, large families, outdoor escapes, remote workers. So we're looking at big groups here. 12 guests, 3 bedrooms, 7 beds, 3 bathrooms. If we look at the 2 reviews that have been left, this is from Elsa, who is in Kentucky. So again, this is really interesting to me. This looks like a drive-to location. Obviously as well, Indiana, interesting as well. Pete was wonderful to work with from the get-go, very friendly, helpful and responsive. The space was rented for family to visit for a wedding and they loved it. Plenty of room for all 8 of them. The kitchen was a selling point and they loved sitting outside on the deck. Rent this if you get the chance. It's a beautiful place to stay. So now Elsa's intriguing here because it looks like she booked this stay. Oh no, congratulations on your wedding. So she booked this stay. She was the bride and booked to stay at Pete's for her family. Very interesting, that one. Obviously, must be a wedding venue close by. That's something we can tap into. Rob put great host and property. Everything was described. Pete left clear directions for local restaurants and convenience stores. We'll definitely stay here again. Again, fantastic reviews. 5-star, 5-star on both of them. But as we can see, the listing is obviously geared up, as we can see here, for big families. And they've talked about this a lot on the reviews. So here's what we're going to go. We're going to go through this and we're going to look at giving Pete here some actionable advice. So first things first, I feel like we are definitely missing a trick here with the pictures. Now the pictures are obviously done by a professional, but we just need to add a little bit more personalization to it. One thing that I think, and I talk about this a lot when especially comes with larger properties as well, it would be good to have a 3D floor plan done here. Now, I've gone ahead and put one in together already before we came on and I hit live. So I didn't, this is not your floor plan, Pete. I just went and found a random one. So this right here is really good because it will help with the guest decide on where the layout is. Now, this is obviously like the floor plan of the ground floor, so to speak, but you can definitely do this on both. Now, you can take this. This looks a lot better. All I did to do this is I found a random floor plan online, right? And I basically said, turn this into a floor plan. That is literally all I did. I said a 3D floor plan for Airbnb. Something like this will really help because, again, with a big property, say you've got 2 or 3 families coming, let's just say that 2 of the bedrooms need to be taken up by a family. Now, they need to know where are they going to be sleeping? How far is little Timmy's room from their room? You know, how far are they from the bathroom? Is it got things like stair gates, etc.? That's the sort of things that they need to know, and that's the sort of things that goes through the mind before making a booking. The goal of your listing and the goal of your website is to take away all of the guesswork, because when you confuse, you lose, okay? So one thing that I would do, go grab your floor plans wherever they are, and I would put them into ChatGPT and just type in, turn this into a 3D floor print that looks hand-drawn that would be great for an Airbnb listing. That's the exact prompt to use. Turn these floor plans into a 3D hand-drawn colourful one for an Airbnb listing that will stand out, and it will put something like that together. And if you don't like it, you can tweak it, which is great. That's what I love about old ChatGPT. Now, another thing that we thought would be to change this hero image, because your hero image here is your living room. You know, it's not a bad picture, shows there, but seeing that people have mentioned the deck in your review, I feel like the deck needs to be the main image. Now, I would personally try and get a photographer back and try and make this a bit more of a bigger shot, because that doesn't do it justice, in my opinion. But we also thought it would be cool if we could get it to be a sunset image. Now, again, if you don't have sunsets on that side of the lake, don't do this. But I just literally whacked this into ChatGPT and said, how cool would this look would be with a sunset? And this on your main image here would just really make it stand out. Again, if you don't get sunsets on that side, I'm not entirely sure which is east and west facing, then don't do this. But if you can, and you do have good sunsets, try and get a picture, again, with a professional camera or get a professional editor to run this through and see if you can get this shot. Now, as you can see, I know this is AI. And you will know this is AI because I'm telling you this. But for the most people, they won't be able to tell this is AI, especially on Airbnb listing on the scroll. So until you get to the point where you've got enough money for another reshoot of this, you can probably get away with that, to be perfectly honest, because it's very good, high quality. Obviously, welcome is a bit wrong. But again, you can tweak it. You can say, make sure the floor mat says the word welcome on it clearly, and also make the image more photo realistic 4K. Let's see what that does. But then that would sit right nicely there. I feel like the kitchen obviously gets mentioned, so that's a good one to have. I feel like that could do really well there. I really do like that you've got the dock, so to speak, so you can showcase that. I'm a little bit second on this one because you've got cracks in the floor. It doesn't really sell the property all that well, if I'm perfectly honest. I would be looking at maybe putting a 3D floor plan in here. Failing that, what I would be looking to do maybe would be get another angle of the kitchen there that shows the view, etc. Now, what I would be also looking to do when you do get that new photo shoot done, this is one that I would definitely think would be sort of spring, summer vibes. You would really love to be getting a autumn and a winter vibe as well. So again, same sort of vibe, but this time you're going to be showcasing winter. So again, it could be, moody lighting, flames, candles, maybe getting firecracker. I don't know if you've got any fire or anything, but things like that showcase winter more than spring, summer. So you have 2 season shoots, then that would go down really, 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 really well. Again, if you can have any form of not so much people in the shots, but just where somebody looking at there, instead of, let's just say this shot, which again, it looks like a real estate shot. Let's just use this one as sort of outside. Instead of being plain, could you maybe have a cup of, let's say, hot chocolate with some steam coming out of it, or a cup of coffee, or even just somebody sat there, but you don't see their face. You see the back of the head, 2 people back of the head, glass of wine. Make sure it's actually wine in the glass, bottle there that's being opened clearly, and they're just sat looking out on the view. Or it could be maybe 3 people sat on a table. You don't need to see the faces, just having a chat. Or again, it could be you take this shot, the one here. You could just have like maybe an adult walking off there, a kid running off that way. You don't see the faces, back of their heads, but it just seems like they're off to go have fun. Because in the mind of the reader and the person reading that would be, oh, I can imagine myself being in that shot, going off and having fun in those kayaks, right? And again, if we're going to put that onto ChatGPT, let's give it a little wee go. There you go. Welcome, more or less there. Can you please add in a human walking towards the dock? Tall, brown hair, with a life vest on, looking as though they are going to go off in the kayaks. Put an oar, I think that's what we call it, in their hand and make it life-like. Let's see what ChatGPT comes back with. I've obviously butchered that description. But the thing about pictures is that you want to make sure that to the person that is looking at it, so your future potential guest, when they land on here, they need to be able to vision themselves in this shot, okay, in your place. You don't have to do it on everyone, but having a few of them is really good, especially on the hero shot and anything like that is like talking about the experience. So the second thing what we need to look at is your title. So I've got all of this information here that I've taken from my thing that we've done here, because as you can see, it's now nicely all in here. I'm going to grab it again and I'm going to pop it in. Okay, while it's doing that, I'm going to just start up a new little tab here actually. Okay. So I'm going to get it now to give me a a better headline for your Airbnb listing. So once it's gone and done that, it's still doing this. So read this in full. Now, what I would like for you to do is give me a better Airbnb title that speaks more to my target avatar. Because again, what's really important, and we've spoken about this a lot on these roasts that we have done, is that when they land on your listing or if they land on your website, you have to be able to say who you are, what you do, and how they can give you money. But every single time you do the who you are, what you do, how they can give you money, it's you got to speak to the person that you want in this door, right? Who is the ideal guest? Families, big groups. Like I said, it's outdoorsy people, definitely. Escapists, people that want to get away. They don't want to be in the city. There's obviously going to be a lot of them. It's interesting that it picked up on remote workers, so you must have good Wi-Fi somewhere that you've picked up in your listing. But let's just come back with what it's done here. So this is a cool shot. So again, this is the one that we told you we spoke about, going off to go kayaking. Maybe not jeans and trousers, but again, it's pretty cool what it can do there. Right, so it's going to read all of this that we picked up in our report. And what it's going to do now is it's going to replace this, which is obviously your title. This is what comes up in the search. And while it is doing that, I just want to have a sneaky little look at what else we've got going on in Eddyville, Kentucky. Now, you are pretty booked up, sir, so you're doing a very good job. But I'm going to just come in here and do a big group. I'm going to do 8 adults. So there's yours, obviously, and you've got Directo, which is cool. So Directo is that free Chrome extension that we've spoken about. Works very well with Logify, obviously, because it's helped find the direct price. That's Go Directo or Get Directo. So this is the competition where we're sort of looking at here. You've got, well, yours is instantly better than that one. Now that looks really cool. That shot stands out. That's nothing. That's a good shot. That's a great shot. That's nothing. So you're sort of 467, 308. Let's go have a little look at this one. So this sleeps 14, 3 bedrooms, 8 beds, 3.5 bedrooms. Have a little sneaky little look what they've got going on here. Lifestyle shots. Not a fan of these because that's not the actual property. But okay, I can see what we've got going on, something like that. This is what I'm also intrigued at. Who in that area takes pets? Oh my God, these pictures are awful. So these are just down the way. 10 guests, hot tub and pets. Hot tubs and pets. Look at that. I've got a lot of availability. Maybe it's the location. But that's interesting where we're at with everything. Right. Done a little bit of looking around. Okay, so here we go. Best pick, waterfront dock, kayaks, sleeps 12 with a fire pit. With a fire pit. Well, that's good. Brilliant. Okay, so waterfront dock with kayak. Now, while we're on it, I need for you to take this and give me the best website headline. We're going to come to the website soon. So instead of having, no, that's not you. That's not you. Here we are. Barclay Breeze. We're going to get rid of that, obviously. Waterfront, private dock, kayaks, exclamation mark. Instead, it'll be waterfront dock and kayaks, sleeps 12 with fire pit. That will be brilliant. That would work a lot better than this one. Let me just go back and do a little search. Instead of it being 8, I'm going to go 5. And you're Eddyville, which I assume this is Eddyville. And let me just put in a filter of location is house. Fireplace, king bed, pool, smoking, hot tub, instant book, recancellation. There's nothing really. This must be you. Yep. And then that's the one that's over the lake here. So what is that doing? That's 16. So they go way more in terms of people. But let me see what they've got. Let me see what they've got super quick. Got pets, have they? I think personally, I think there's a little win here. So what's going to be your other competition? 467 302 up the road. Yeah, that's not you. You're bigger than that. 401. That's similar sort of vibes, isn't it? See, these are already, whether it's done by design or not. Oh yeah, it's not done by design because I've got so much availability. But they're already showing off their Christmas tree, which is mad. It looks like they've not updated this. Let me go back here. Let me do this little filter in here. Allows pets. Oh, my days. 4 of yous. 1. No, it's a floating cabin. 20 beds. Boom. 455. That's huge. That is huge. I think personally, the way that people are traveling now, especially being drive to locations, if you could start offering pets, I reckon you would clean up and you wouldn't even have to do much with your pricing because obviously pricing wise, you're at the northern end of the market, aren't you? So I'd be doing that. Obviously you're using Logify because that's Logify's been doing this. And again, Directo is taking them straight to there. Minimum stay 2 nights. Damn, 2 nights. That's a big property for just 2 nights. That's something I maybe be looking at changing down the line. Because again, it's going to be quality over quantity. Friday, checking out Monday. I think maybe you could do something there looking at the prices. But that's getting by to buy. I'm not a pricing expert. I'm a marketing expert. Okay, so let's crack on with this. So we've got a new headline, new pictures, new headline, new pictures. Coming back to here, obviously that picture here of the chap walking out, that looks pretty cool to me. Going off to have some fun, some kids running either side of it. I've got a new headline, new title. I would definitely make this description a lot better. 100% make this a lot better. So now I want for you to amend description. Ten out of 10 version. So we need to fill out that obviously a bit better. I feel like you've got all the right amenities, definitely. I mean, this is all looking good. Reviews are looking good. You've got 2. Obviously, you're going to get more. I'd maybe looking at minimum stay 3 days, but again, I'd be speaking to a proper revenue manager about that if you want. Obviously, you're not with an agent anymore. So, welcome to Barclay Breeze, your lake funk base camp for relaxing and adventure in wherever it may be. So, Eddyville, Kentucky. So the first thing, remember what we want to do here with your description, talk about the brand name, because what we want to get people doing is doing the Google search of Barclay Breeze in Eddyville. And when they do Barclay Breeze in Eddyville, so you were with Evolve, I can see this here. Instead of them doing that, they want them to land on you and your site. Oh, there you go. Well done. You've got your Google business listing, which is interesting. You've got that, which is great. Okay, so going back to this. This is going to be a better title, a better description for your Airbnb listing. What you'll love: private dock, fire pit, spacious enough, fast Wi-Fi, screened porch for morning coffee, group-friendly amenities near it all. 15 minutes to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Brilliant. Love it. So that's a new Airbnb description. And don't worry, I'm going to make sure that you get all of this information in a Google Doc afterwards. That's not you. Get rid. Get rid. All right, Pete, let's go look at the website. Now, the website, it could even be done by Logify. But again, these PMS websites, the free versions, are crap. This is not saying anything bad about Logify. They're fantastic, but they're just not very good. Now, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can amend this. So I want to get rid of this, and get rid of this. We want to have it where, if you look at this, we want to be able to make it where, and I'm going to show you it in a second, the majority of the information is on that first page, and this above the fold here looks like a magazine photo shoot. You want it to look where, wow, I want to find out more. So if we compare this to yours, so this is what you need it to look like. This is what we do at Boostly. Okay. So nice big image here, logo, homes, experiences, services. We're basically mimicking what Airbnb are doing. Book now. Who you are, what you do, how you can book. Super clear with a nice image here. And you've got these nice images because you've got a great photo shoot. So let's go and do this and let's see if this will work. I'm going to come into this bit. And what I want to do here is I want to be amending this. So we're going to make it look like now what we want it to be, looking like. So first things first, come here. I'm going to take out this. I'm going to upload this. Let's see how this works. I'm going to imagine if it is the actual. Let's see if I can get this. Now, this might not be big enough quality, but let's just have a little play here, shall we? I'm also going to add in this PNG. So while that uploads. Okay, we're going to have that there. So that's there, which looks good. And then we're going to have the new title that it's suggested. So we're going to take this. And then it's asked us for this one here. So we're going to change that up. Lakefront living for 12, private dock, kayaks, and fire pit nights. Book direct, skip the fee, save 50%, get early check-in. There you go. So who you are, what you do. Now that to me, even though I very quickly, roughly put that together, already looks better than Barclay Breeze, Book Direct Now, no Airbnb or Verbo fees. So who you are, what you do. So who you are, what you do, how to book. Who you are, lakefront living for 12, private dock, kayaks and fire pit nights. Book direct, skip the fees. Now, if I wanted to, they can scroll down here, obviously find out more information about the home, what you offer, reviews, more about you, FAQs, etc. But when they land on this is what's called above the fold. This is the most important part because this is where they are making their opinion up about you and what you do. And they'll have landed on this website by either finding you on Airbnb and coming here, or it's been a recommendation of a friend or whoever. There are many reasons why they may land on it. So you could be able to say who you are, what you do, and how you can book. Where to stay, arrive, depart, guests, search, boom, and then go ahead and do the rest of it there. But to me, that looks a whole lot better than that. Even with the other image that we can come back to. Even if we choose the other one, which is the one there at the moment, that looks a whole lot better than that. Because that the big block header on the top, that's going. That's not important anymore. That means nothing to me. That wire looks bad. Barclay Breeze means nothing. Book Direct Now. No one really knows what Book Direct Now means. No Airbnb or Verbo fees. People will relate to that, but Book Direct, no one really understands what that means. Barclay Breeze means nothing to people. Instead, I mean, I'm sorry, but now I've seen this image, I can't unsee this image. Lakefront living for 12, private dock, kayaks and fire pit nights, 5-star vacations, book direct to skip the fees, save 15% and get early check-in. Boom. So now we know what book direct means. Search book, and then you've got the little chat bot at the bottom, which will go obviously to your CRM where you can live chat with your guests or your future potential guests. That to me looks so much better. This is before we even get into Instagram. Instagram, obviously, I don't think you've got an account. Like I said, the context to all of this, you are a hobbyist host. You've got other priorities. You're flying planes, doing all the good stuff. You just want to get this property away from Evolve and you want it back being direct with you. You want to get back to that 4.97 remark. You're with Logify, which is fantastic. But this is what I would be doing if I were you. Take this, run with this, and let's put this into an action plan. We've gone 30 minutes in, so there's going to be no room for the other two that I've got pulled out for today. So you're going to have to wait for next week for that one. But can we just show a bit of love, not for Elsa, obviously, thank you, Elsa, but to Pete for putting his business forward. We've definitely got some action points. Just to review what those action points are, I would be getting an autumn and winter photo shoot done. Focus on fire pits, focus on marshmallows, hot chocolate, glass of red wine. If you want to do Christmas, do some Christmas shots. Get a photographer back for that. For the meantime, for the quick wins that you can actually go ahead and do, go ahead and change your images around. I would be looking to maybe use this as your hero image, the first image. If you're not going to do the sunset one that we showed here, which I do actually really like, then I would be personally, where are you? Where's you gone? Here. I'd be looking to use that one as your main image. And on here, I'd be looking at getting a 3D photo plan done and put that in there as well. I think that would look really good. Also, make sure you change your headline to the one that we gave you, that I'm going to send to you, and change the description as well. And make sure that you speak to your avatar. The avatar is obviously very, very clear with this one, while Airbnb has a little bit of a moment. So the avatar is obviously going to be bigger groups and whatnot. Pete, you've got a fantastic property. I feel like with a couple of tweaks, you can definitely make a lot of difference. I would also look to be going potentially pet friendly on this one. I know that it's a bit of cleanup, an extra cleanup, but I feel like there's a lot of wins there, especially with you being so outdoorsy. I feel like you'd put yourself up above so many other people in your area who are just not offering it, especially around your price point, that what you're offering it at. I'd have a little chat with some revenue managers just about pricing, about how to play it compared to the competition. Just make sure you're not too high. We obviously don't want to reduce your rates by loads, but I don't want you to be outpricing loads of people, because obviously you want this place to be full or more or less full. But you've got a super spot there. Website changes. Like I say, if you want to come and have a chat to Boostly about us building out something like this for you, let us know. For anybody who's watching this who wants to be able to tap into more of our framework that we use, that generated over $100 million in direct bookings in 2024 alone, click on the link in the description or just go to boostly.co.uk, boostly.co.uk. You can come on over. From there, you can schedule a call, come and chat to our team and see if we can help you. But that needs to go because that hurts my eyes. All right, final thing that I would say on this one, we've got loads of email templates that I would 100% be using for your good self. One of them would be getting people to sign up to a lead magnet on your website so that you can keep in touch with them. So I will be looking at doing something along the lines of, you're very good at recommending local places. So it would be, here's our top 10 recommendations for places to eat. If you want it, come and give us your email address. Once you get them to sign up to your email address, and again, the Boostly CRM would be fantastic for that because you can get them onto a landing page with all that good stuff, get people to sign up with the email, then it's plugged into here so they can use it in the automations. One of the ones that I would say would be turning lookers into bookers. This template here of ours that we have is really, really effective. Let me just give you a quick little debrief. So we're going to click on email here. I'm going to take this I'm going to put it into our chat GPT. Say, I need for you to take this draft email copy and turn it into an email I can use. Bearing in mind, I'm doing this all for the breeze, all for Pete and his business. So it's going to take our copy, we've whacked it into ChatGPT, and it's going to personalize this to speak to his target audience, which is great, which you can obviously do here. I love that. All right, Pete, you've got plenty of things to be cracking on with here. I'm going to put this all in here and send it over to you. We'll be back next week with another roast. Until then, have a good one. And if you've enjoyed this video, click on here because now you can go and watch one of our previous roasts that YouTube has recommended.